Hey family, Mike's here, and I've got a question. What if Green Day made a rap song? Keep the socially charged lyrics, keep the guitars, but make the rest of the song like it's a rap song, meaning the bass and the drums. This is what I tried to do with my latest song. Let me show you how it's done and I'll play it for you at the end. The song is pretty simple, to be honest. I recorded this guitar riff and I loop it throughout the song because, well, this is how it's usually done in rap productions. The processing is rather simple, a default EQ to remove the low-end mod, some compression and saturation. It's important to remember that the key to a good mix is not the plugins you use, but the levels. Because seriously, regardless of genre, if you can make a good static mix, you're like 70% there. The drums are rather interesting, because what you hear and might think are hi-hats are actually pitched up rim shots. I do this a lot in my productions because it's an interesting way to replace the usual tried and tested sound of hi-hats with something interesting and unique. In terms of processing, there is no magic here, just level balancing and EQ using the default Ableton plugins. But pay attention to the kick because it's layered. Now, you don't always need to layer your kicks or even tune them because they're too short to produce any notable note because it lacks sustain, but in this case I layered a chest kick for punch and a top kick to make it cut through the mix even on cheap speakers from Walmart. Then I glued them all together with glue compressor and added a limiter to catch the peaks. And finally, bass. It's a simple 808, that's pretty much it. This you must tune, because otherwise it will sound horrible. But in terms of the pattern, it simply follows the kick drum. Check it out. Now to the vocals. I usually record my vocals in a separate project because it helps reduce latency, especially if you're someone like me and likes to hear some reverb, delay or autotune while recording. And while my processing chain has like 10 different plugins for each vocal track, it's important to remember that I made this specific chain of effects because it works for my voice and it works for my room, and that will probably kill your vocal track if you try to copy it. Here was before. Never done a thing, but they're always there to judge. Disrespecting one another, that is what they love. And here is after. Never done a thing, but they're always there to judge. Disrespecting one another, that is what they love. Did you pay attention to how much low end there was? That's the exact reason why I use so many plugins. But the reason I switched to Ableton, despite accidentally deleting half of my plugins and rage quitting to Ableton, was that you can comp. Basically, you can set a certain section of the song on repeat, hit the record button, record 20 takes, and then choose the perfect bits from each take and make one perfect take. It's kind of like Frankenstein, and it's kind of cheating, but it's not. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Here's the final result, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. My name's Mike Hvll. See you in the next one. I think I lose my mind every time I see this wild world full of crazy people who are never satisfied. I think I lose my mind every time I see this wild world full of crazy people who are never satisfied. They always lying with no shame and everyone's to blame. They will do whatever just for fame to get some money. Being kind and honest now is treated like a weakness. Being loyal to your partner, nah, it's out of fashion. I think I lose my mind every time I see this wild world full of crazy people who are never satisfied. I think I lose my mind every time I see this wild world full of crazy people who are never satisfied. They never done a thing, but they're always there to judge. Disrespecting one another, that is what they love. Switching sides like crazy just to keep up with the trends. Hey, look at me, I'm so offended, this is all your fault. They love claiming they're hated, but no one really cares. Seekers of distraction, this is who they really are. They forgot about the values that they wanted to protect. By seeking for attention, they've divided us apart. Man, I'm tired of this. You know, how many followers you got? You know, what kind of brand sponsorship you got? This is Yeah, you're just trying to make some money off of people's problems, man. I think I lose my mind every time I see this wild world full of crazy people who are never satisfied. I think I lose my mind every time I see this wild world full of crazy people who are never satisfied.